sorted. Hi guys, Andy Work here. Okay, we've made it to episode 2. Pretty happy about that. As you can see, deadlines are for submission to the 13th of the month. Gives me a couple of days to get this sorted and get it up. And the email is, of course, showmethemodernthing@gmail.com. I'd just like to welcome all the new subscribers to my channel, and also thank you to everybody who's been very supportive in the comments. Right, first up we have Slyn Odinson again with his Vulcan mod, the Mean Machine. It's got a barrel made of PVC pipe and connected it to a short stock muzzle. And then it was all hand painted, apparently no spray brush at all. Really well done. You can see the first image is the basic paint job with and then we've got the really nice paint job with the metallics and the heat distressing around the muzzle. And finally at the end he's actually gone to the trouble of making a base for it to sit off, an actual diorama type base. I'm assuming this is a static display. You wouldn't want to take this outside. And even you can see wrapped around the front of the muzzle there's a bit of barbed wire made from, packaging string. But very nicely done, and I do like the base. Very cool. Right, next up is another one from Jeremy Z. He tells me it's a Rapid Red stuffed inside a Centurion stock with Mega Magnus parts on the front. It has a cross bolt barrel and the foregrip is a pump handle from a Firefly. He also made a custom magnifier out of a Recon laser, which is pretty cool. This is very, very interesting, very swish and futuristic looking. Yeah, I like the way it's done. Even a curve magazine, that's an aftermarket one from Worker, I believe. Yeah, it's very, very nice. Thumbhole stock, always a fan of that. I'm assuming the Rapid Red is a flywheel blaster because it appears to have the housing for the flywheels on one side. So I'm going to have to do some research, but very, very nice. Next up, we've got a couple from Vincent D. He's a man of few words, Vincent. All blasters are full auto, and I hope you like them. I'm a big fan of custom mods and blasters and like to see everyone's work. And that's it. So I am going to do the best I can to describe them. And okay, firstly up we have a Vector Chris sort of modification. Looks very nice. I like the very simple straight butt stock. Cool, just a cool looking blaster, that one. Then something very clever, a ECS 10 with a long strike stock. Now that is very clever. That's a really good integration, and it's just simple clip on. Looks like a couple of 3D printed parts there for the magazine well and the mag release. Then we have a Doomlands. I don't know a lot about Doomlands blasters. I'm not going to try and pretend I do. It does look interesting. Could look really good painted up. And finally, the last one is quite interesting. I had some trouble identifying this. It's a Hyperfire with a modular stock and what appears to be a telescope as a muzzle because of the shape, and you can see the orange Picatinny rail grip sticking out the bottom there. That's pretty specky, and even the magazine's pretty unusual looking. I think I can see a Nerf logo on it, but it looks like it's been moulded to look like checker plate, that flooring. And the paint job, pretty cool, like what, winter camouflage or something? Yeah, that's pretty impressive, that little one. Well done. Okay, next up we've got a couple from Cool Boy, starting with an Adventure Force Eon Pro. The list on the screen is everything he put in it even before he started the mod, and then he ended up with this, with all the rest of this stuff added. You can pause it to check it. I'm not going to try and read it out. I'd probably sprain my tongue. Yeah, pretty amazing blaster, and probably expensive with all that stuff added. Here's a better view, stock unfolded. Pretty cool, tactical entry type blaster. You can only imagine how good it'll look all painted up, but each to their own. And then he goes on to an Adventure Force Nexus Pro, again with a list as long as your arm of bits and pieces. They look really cool. Love the shape and look of them. Might have to hunt some up and do a bit of paintwork on them myself, but really, really nicely done. Very, very nice work. Well done, mate. Okay, now here's an interesting one. It's from Troy the Tinkerer, and he says it's a Titan tank-powered cyclone shot with numerous absolvers and multiple ammo-type barrel attachments. He calls it Project Skyfall due to the fact it can rain down foam projectiles from quite a distance. And he says the pump is salvaged from a dollar store squirt gun, but could indefinitely benefit from a dual action bike pump, held together with hot glue and hope, like most of our projects. He's even provided this internal photo of how he's all got it set up. I love the way he's got a little black zip tie in there, forming a link between the trigger and probably the release mechanism on the air reservoir. Yeah, and then you've got all these attachments. You know, you can screw on any different thing. You've got a 6-shot, a 4-shot, a 3-shot, maybe a 1-shot, or what do they call it, an inline clip, and even rival balls. Now that's pretty versatile. The little device at the bottom of the screen there, you can see that's actually a rubber tightening strap for circular things, so it looks like there's a bit of pressure there and he has to get it on nice and tight and doesn't have any leaks. But yeah, that's pretty versatile. You can turn up to any game and use anybody's ammunition. Really well done, Troy. Here's an interesting one. It looks really good. The paintwork I quite like, and the rust, the dirt and the muck. And it's even a really nice example of a good photo. It's got a little bit of stuff there to context, but it's on a plain background and you can see the blaster. And I really like it. And I love the paint job. I thought it was just all orange at first, but it is actually two-tone. It does look like it's been hand painted with a fair amount of skill, I'd say. It's by Edward W, and he says it's a demolisher that I removed the rocket launcher and replaced with a 3D printed key STL by the Lone Wolf 052 on Thingiverse. Then he cut down a Nerf magnets to fit under there and filled up the gaps with a couple of pieces of plastic and added a piece of PVC pipe to it. And then the scope on top was 3D printed, and he's done a really good job. You know me with weathering and rust and dirt and muck, and I quite like the look of this. An unusual look. It makes it look a lot more big and beefier than it actually is. I'm assuming it is functional for games and such like. In this shot you can see he's got the little red dot light that Nerf puts out. He's either photoshopped that light or he's got it working really well, because I've never seen one so bright. Very, you know, it looks rough and dirty and worn, but the paint job itself is really nice and sharp and neat and clean. Yeah, so well done, Edward. Love it. And here we go with the last one. This is from William L. He's given me a couple of photos of two of his builds. The first is a Vagabond, done in a really nice dark green colour scheme. It's really well done. The green and the gold go very well together. He says he's put a bigger spring as well as the usual air seal build-up, sprayed in black primer and then hand painted and finished in high gloss clear. Well, it looks very, very nice. Couple of photos of it, of course. Yeah, even the blue he's chosen actually fits really well as an accent colour. Just not all green and gold. And the next one he's got, he says, is a Overwatch Reaper. It's got a K25 spring, beefed up air seal, and some skull deco with hand-painted flames. And that's pretty nice hand-painted flames, oh, I'll tell you. It's very nice, very steampunk looking to my eye. I could be completely wrong, but I'm an old person. The flames are absolutely fantastic, and they've been really well incorporated with that skull decal. Very nice and sharp build. Very old-fashioned looking gun, of course. I guess that's why it lends itself to this steampunk theme, but yeah, love it. Really, really nicely done. And now on, as the great bearded one says, with the slideshow.